Patricia is exactly 66 years old. Every single day, right at 6 in the morning, her eyes open, she sits up rapidly, throws her legs over the side of the bed, and walks directly to her kitchen. Her sacred, untouchable morning ritual is brewing a hot, strong cup of dark black coffee. But on a quiet Tuesday morning, exactly 40 minutes after draining her cup, Patricia was suddenly hit by a violent wave of dizziness. The room began to spin. Her chest tightened as if squeezed by a heavy iron vise, and she collapsed into a chair, gasping desperately for air. She was incredibly lucky to survive what emergency room doctors call a transient ischemic attack, a terrifying, sudden mini-stroke. When her primary care physician looked at her chart, he was puzzled. Her cholesterol was perfectly controlled. Her diet was generally healthy. But the silent enemy that nearly stopped Patricia's heart was not excess fat. The fatal enemy was timing. She was walking completely blindfolded into the deadliest period of the human biological clock, the morning danger zone. If you are over 65 years old, your circulatory system simply does not respond the way it did when you were 30. During an 8-hour night of sleep, your body naturally loses a massive amount of water just by breathing and regulating temperature. When you finally open your eyes, you are in a state of severe, invisible dehydration. Your blood is naturally thicker, heavier, and incredibly sluggish. When you jump out of bed and immediately pour a strong, highly diuretic cup of coffee into an already severely dehydrated body, you trigger a catastrophic biological crisis. Think about this in pure mechanical terms. It is exactly like walking out into the freezing winter and trying to aggressively start the heavy metal engine of a rusted antique car without a single drop of lubricating oil inside it. The heavy metal pistons violently grind, scrape, and completely shred each other. The engine destroys itself from the inside out in a matter of seconds. Your heart is that aging engine, and that innocent morning cup of coffee is forcefully draining the very last drop of oil you have left. Let us look at mud blood and the terrifying microscopic reality of exactly how your morning coffee is secretly creating fatal blood clots.
Secretly creating fatal blood clots. Let us take a microscopic journey deep inside Patricia's arteries at exactly 6 o'clock in the morning. Every single night, while you sleep peacefully, your body exhales and sweats away up to half a liter of vital water. Because that critical hydration is completely gone, your red blood cells are forced to tightly pack together. What was supposed to be a smooth, freely flowing river of life-giving oxygen literally condenses into a dark, thick, gelatinous sludge. This is mud blood. And this is the exact moment Patricia makes her fatal mistake. She walks into the kitchen and drinks her dark coffee. Caffeine is an incredibly powerful, aggressive diuretic. It forcefully commands your kidneys to immediately flush out whatever tiny reserves of water your body still has left. When that coffee hits Patricia's stomach, the thick sludge in her veins instantly transforms into a heavy, highly viscous biological glue. Her heart recognizes this severe drop in hydration and goes into a state of absolute mechanical panic. To forcefully push this incredibly thick, sticky glue through miles of narrow blood vessels, the heart must violently spike her blood pressure. But this sudden massive surge in pressure creates brutal mechanical friction. The heavy, sticky blood violently scrapes and grinds against the soft, delicate inner lining of your arteries, a microscopic layer known as the endothelium. The immense friction physically tears the endothelium apart, leaving thousands of glowing, inflamed microscopic cuts. To immediately stop the internal bleeding from these tears, your body frantically creates a scab. It forms a sudden massive blood clot. Your doctor tells you to watch your sodium intake, but he completely fails to mention that your innocent morning cup of coffee on an empty, dehydrated stomach is violently shredding your arteries and building fatal blood clots before breakfast. Surviving this morning danger zone requires you to immediately thin your blood and lubricate your system. But if you are over 65 years old and you have been drinking coffee on an empty stomach for decades, the walls of your arteries are already deeply scarred. They are already hard, calcified, and dangerously stiff from years of brutal morning friction. To physically dissolve that hardened, dangerous plaque, to restore the youthful, elastic flexibility to your blood vessels, and to permanently repair your torn endothelium, you must use a highly advanced cardiovascular tissue regeneration protocol. There is a private, deeply researched biological presentation detailing this precise arterial cleansing and tissue repair blueprint. We have linked this mandatory guide in the first pinned comment below. If you are over 65 years old and you absolutely refuse to become another tragic morning heart attack statistic, you must watch this video. Pause this documentary right now, go to the first pinned comment below, and click the link to start dissolving your arterial plaque before the morning friction completely destroys your heart. But the extreme danger of the morning routine is not just about dehydration. Let us look at the cortisol crush and the terrifying biomechanical reality of what waking up stressed does to an already struggling heart.
Of what waking up stressed does to an already struggling heart. There is a second, equally dangerous biological trap waiting for you in the first few minutes of the day. When Patricia's eyes open, her mind instantly begins to race. Before her feet even touch the floor, she is already worrying about a doctor's appointment, stressing over her family, and thinking about the bills she needs to pay. This immediate, heavy mental burden triggers a massive, sudden release of powerful stress hormones into her bloodstream, specifically cortisol and adrenaline. Your body uses these hormones to wake you up, but when you flood your system with them too quickly, they trigger a severe biological reaction called vasoconstriction. This means your delicate blood vessels violently clamp down, shrinking and tightening in a matter of seconds. Now, Patricia's cardiovascular system is facing what doctors call the double hit. She already has thick, highly viscous mud blood because of overnight dehydration and her immediate cup of coffee. And now, because of the sudden morning stress, the pipes carrying that blood have suddenly forcefully shrunk. Imagine taking an old, dry, incredibly thick tube of toothpaste and trying to aggressively squeeze that heavy paste through a tiny microscopic hole using a massive pair of heavy metal pliers. The pressure inside the tube builds exponentially. The structural integrity fails, and eventually the tube violently bursts. This exact biomechanical failure is happening inside the chests of millions of seniors every single morning. The heart is furiously hammering, trying to force thick biological glue through shrinking, tightening vessels. This is not a coincidence. This terrifying combination of dehydration, diuretic coffee, and sudden vasoconstriction is the exact, scientifically proven reason why the window between 6 in the morning and noon is the absolute deadliest time of day for massive, unexpected heart attacks and fatal strokes. The system simply cannot handle the crushing pressure. But you do not have to give up your morning coffee, and you do not have to live in fear of the morning clock. Let us look at the 30-second survival protocol and the exact simple ritual that instantly thins your blood and permanently neutralizes the morning danger zone.
Permanently neutralizes the morning danger zone.
Patricia did not have to throw her coffee machine in the trash. She simply had to learn how to lubricate the engine before turning the key. She implemented the 30-second survival protocol. It is incredibly simple. It costs absolutely nothing, and it completely prevents the dry start engine effect from ever happening again. Rule number 1. When your eyes open, do not stand up immediately. Roll over, sit on the edge of your bed, and let your legs dangle for exactly 30 seconds. Do not look at your phone. Do not think about your bills. Just sit. This brief, intentional pause allows your nervous system to slowly wake up, stabilizing your blood pressure and preventing the sudden, violent vasoconstriction that shrinks your arteries. Rule number 2. The golden water rule. Before you ever touch your coffee maker, you must drink 1 full glass of room temperature water, roughly 12 to 16 ounces. Do not use ice-cold water, as the extreme temperature can shock your system. When you drink this water on an empty stomach, it does not just sit there. Within 60 seconds, it is rapidly absorbed directly into your bloodstream. Instantly, the thick, highly viscous mud blood is deeply hydrated. The sticky, biological glue is completely diluted, transforming back into a smooth, healthy, freely flowing liquid. You have successfully added the lubricating oil back into the engine. Now, when you drink your coffee, your heart does not have to panic. It can easily pump the hydrated blood through your relaxed arteries with absolutely no friction and zero chance of forming a fatal clot. Today, Patricia still enjoys her dark black coffee every single morning, but she never experiences dizziness, chest pain, or the terrifying symptoms of a mini stroke. But you must hear this final warning. If you have spent the last 10, 20, or 30 years jumping out of bed and drinking coffee on a severely dehydrated stomach, the violent morning friction has already happened. Your endothelium is already scarred. Your arteries have already desperately patched those microscopic cuts with hard, stiff calcium and dangerous plaque. Drinking water tomorrow will thin your blood and stop the new damage, but water alone will not magically dissolve decades of hardened biological concrete. To truly melt away that brittle calcification, restore the youthful, elastic flexibility to your blood vessels, and permanently repair the hidden damage inside your chest, you must use a highly specific, concentrated tissue regeneration protocol. We have linked the complete, step-by-step plaque dissolution and arterial repair blueprint in the first pinned comment below. If you are over 65 years old and you refuse to let a sudden morning heart attack steal your future, you must watch this private presentation right now. Click the link in the first pinned comment below before that hardened plaque causes a fatal blockage. Stop treating your aging heart like an invincible machine. Hydrate the mud blood, respect the morning transition, and protect your arteries. And finally reclaim the vibrant and energetic and fearless mornings that are rightfully yours.